This is WPTV, William Patterson Television.
Welcome back to the desk. It's been 5 months since we've last been here, but we're back and better than ever. I'm your host, Mark Brandt.
And Astros, Rangers, pew, pew. Battle of Texas, Wild Wild West shootout. Here we go, ALCS preview.
Trevor Lawrence going to drop back on this one, tie game. Christian Kirk, a nice little, easy little route, but he's just going to keep going on this one and bring this one in for a touchdown. 3 minutes left. They go up by 7, and Foster Moreau wide open in the corner of the end zone, and he drops it. He had too many Butterfingers. We're close to Halloween. He loves his Butterfingers, and he drops the ball. Saints stink. They lose this game. Derek Carr is washed. Get Famous Jameis in there and get Foster Moreau. Ship him off to China.
Andrew.
I got to go with the schedule-making gods. I mean, you know, these guys, they've had a cakewalk of a schedule to start off the season, and it's going to get, quite literally, gets easier as the season goes on. I mean, listen, I'm not a Lions hater, but I'm not a Lions believer either. I mean, the only relevant opponent they beat was the Chiefs, and they didn't have Travis Kelce, they didn't have Chris Jones, and Kadarius Toney dropped about 8 balls that game, so they probably would have won that game. Listen, this schedule's super easy. They can win 13, 14 games. I don't think that they win a wild card game or a divisional game, especially if you go against an opponent like the 49ers or the Eagles, where their offense is just going to completely overpower that defense.
And
So what I don't get here is what you're saying is how many times on this desk have we said it's difficult to get a win in the NFL? And just because when a team starts winning, you say, oh, they have easy opponents, it means nothing. It doesn't matter. They're still getting quality wins. And just because the Chiefs didn't have Chris Jones or Travis Kelce, they still had Pat Mahomes in the back. And last time I checked, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Who did he have to throw to? Can you even name a
Regardless.
receiver on the Chiefs?
Okay, Kadarius Toney. You just
Kadarius
labeled him.
Toney, the guy dropped
he
8
dropped
balls.
it. Sure. Regardless, that doesn't mean they don't have a great defense on the other side. They have good players. Regardless, they still have a good offensive line.
Listen, they play the Ravens this week. That's going to be a good test for them, I
Yeah,
think.
and they're going to beat them because Detroit might be one of the best teams in the league right now.
I disagree. I disagree.
I mean, we can agree to disagree.
Heating up at such a great time and still going to the World Series, man.
Coop, can you just look at the camera real quick? Are you a Phillies fan or a Mets fan? I'm very confused here.
I'm kind of interested in this too.
Right now, I'm a Phillies fan. I gotta say that. Go Phils, man. But October.
Makes no sense.
Andrew Balistreri, take us through this one.
Yeah, let's take a look at this game. The Warriors caught some trouble against the Suns. Kevin Durant made another return to Golden State. They honored him a little bit, had a nice little video package for him. But we will start this game off with Steph Curry coming up the lane on Josh Okogie. A nice little behind the back and 3, bang, bang. Steph Curry, he's still the GOAT there, but you know who's the real GOAT? Devin Booker with a headband on. You can't guard this guy. I mean, too easy for him on that one. He had a great game, and here's another D-Book highlight. Chris Paul guarding him out to KD for 3, time running down, and 1 on the 3 at the end of the first half. And then later on in the fourth quarter here, we got Kevin Durant going inside and a tough little bucket right there. I mean, I know I can't do that, but, you know, you can't guard KD on that one. Here's Klay Thompson for 3. KD guarding him, and he hits that, ties the game up. Just under 9 minutes left. And right here, a pass from D-Book to Okogie. Back out to D-Book for 3. There he goes to put them up by 4 with 4 minutes left in this game. And a missed 3. Steph gets the rebound, puts up another one, and he hits that. They're only down 2 points with 30 seconds left. But here's D-Book, the pick and roll with Nurkic. Gonna dish it out. Beautiful roll and a beautiful bucket. Puts them up by 4 with 10 seconds to go. Suns win this one, 108 to 104.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good start for the Suns. A slim margin win against one of the best teams in NBA history, those Golden State Warriors, historically so good. And that was even without their big offseason addition in Bradley Beal on the court. It wouldn't be WP Sports Desk without some way too early predictions. So, Rico, starting with you, who do you think is going to hoist the Larry O'Brien Trophy at the end of the year?
Mark, the sun shines bright in June, and I got to put on my shades because downtown Phoenix is going to have a parade in 2024. Booker, Beal, KD, the best shot-creating trio since Barkley, KJ, and Marley in the 90s? Come on, I wasn't even alive for that. Again, the bench is so versatile. If you need defense, you throw in KBD, Eubanks, Goodwin. Offense, throw in Gordon, Grayson, or my guy, Utah Watanabe. Come on. They're going to win it all.
But from the National League to the American League now. Take us through the Rangers Game 7 win, Andrew.
Yeah, man, let's check out the highlights from Game 7. Everybody loves a Game 7. It's the best thing in sports. Christian Javier pitching in this one. Corey Seager, and boom, just start him off quick and early. A very, very deep shot gives the Rangers a 1-0 lead in this one. And now we'll check out Adolis Garcia, and he's going to smash this ball. He's pimping it. It must be a home run, right? Psych, it's off the top of the wall. Adolis Garcia pimping a single in this one. Keeps it at 2-0 now as another run comes across. And staying in the first inning, here's Mitch Garver with a very nice hit right here in a no man's land. And is anybody going to get there? No, they will not. And Adolis Garcia is on the run. He's hustling around third, going for home, and he is safe right there. 3-0 in this first inning. Garver's hyped. He loves it. Now in the bottom of the first, here's Jose Abreu right past the third baseman. And this one's going to get into the corner. And Altuve going to score on that one to make it 3-1. Now top of the third, Adolis Garcia. Here's a nice one. He can pimp this one. It's high and it's deep, and that one is way out of there. A nice bat flip from him as well. Makes it 4-1. He's happy. He's pointing. He's laughing. But Alex Bregman, he hit the weight room today. He's going to boost this one all the way to the Planet Fitness sign to make it a 4-2 game in this third inning. Listen, man, they won't go away, but right now they might. Right here, Evan Carter right down the first baseline just stays fair. It's going to score 2 on this one. Runners move to second and third. It's 6-2 in the fourth inning. Later on in the fourth inning, Adolis Garcia going to roll over this one, but the infield's in, and he's going to be able to get that one past the third baseman and shortstop. Score another 2. It's 8-2 in the fourth inning. Astros fans looking like Yankees fans all year long. Rangers win this one 11-4. They're the ultimate underdogs. I mentioned earlier, they're the 26th best odds to win this thing, and they're there. They're right there. Why not us? Why not us?
You know, I definitely was not expecting them to even make the playoffs this year, I'm going to be honest. But Daniel Karp, who do you think wins this one?
It's got to be the Rangers. How can you roll out as the Diamondbacks with a hole at third base? Are you going to roll at 38-year-old platoon Evan Longoria or this guy Rivera? I never heard of him in my life. How are you going to do that? The Rangers are stacked on the pitching side and they're stacked on the hitting side. You have Garcia, you have Semien, Seager, you have Mitch Garver, you have Jonah Heim, who has honestly had a great season before he got injured. And on the pitching side, you got Monty, you have Max Scherzer, who I'm not counting it. Mike could turn it around, but Valley, I honestly don't understand why you're going with the Diamondbacks. It's going to be the Rangers. They are just a better team top to bottom, brother.
It's nice to name all these flashy names and everything, but think about it. Diamondbacks, they got the dogs, baby. All you need is the dogs. Diamondbacks taking this thing, man. I'm sorry. It's just,
right,
it's what's gonna happen.
I'm sorry, dog. It ain't happening, dog.
All right, dog. All right, dog.
Andy Gavin's not here. We don't need to.
Oh, yeah, my bad. Sorry.
It's all right.
We can't do corny stuff here.
Tyler Cooper, who do you think is winning this one?
Do you hear the Snakes coming to town, baby?
I think I do.
I mean, the Snakes are coming, man. They're gonna win the World Series, man. They're confident off the win against the hot Philly team that played. If they just stick to the, if Torey Velo and the Diamondbacks stick to the game, have Ginkel, have Sewald pitch the late innings, and Gabby, Moreno, and Marte lead the lineup. There's no way the Diamondbacks aren't gonna win the World Series, man. They're hot. They're good. Go
Yeah.
Diamondbacks.
Why not us, baby?
Now they
Why
go
not
Diamondbacks.
us?
They just beat your Phillies.
I mean,
Go Phils, man.
go Phils, but like.
Does he like the entire National League? Is that what it is?
He likes sports.
You know what? He likes baseball.
I like
And I
baseball.
respect that.
Pick a team
You know,
if they're doing good. That's who you
I
like.
was
Hey,
a little
bandwagon. It
depressed,
works.
but go Diamondbacks now.
Through this one.
Well, we're going to take a look at the highlights here at Game 5. Zach Gallen on the bump, man. He was electric. He's going to get Evan Carter right here. Whoops! Swing and a miss. Gets him out of the first inning, and he was lights out until the 7th inning. But right here, Evan Longoria, that's going to drop in. Nope. Evan Carter right there, and he's going to fire in. And, Nathan Eovaldi, he was lights out, getting out of jams right here. Marcus Semien, what a play right there by Ketel Marte. Gets to his feet, fires across the diamond, and gets Marcus Semien. Jonah Heim right here, another swing and a miss. And hey, that's what Zach Gallen did all day, swinging and misses, getting those strikeouts right here. Bases loaded, Nathan Eovaldi, and they're going to get him out. But, right here, as we know, Diamondbacks cannot push runs across. They're awful, beat themselves. Zach Gallen right here, Marcus Semien, swing and a miss. That's another out there. I was pumped here, thought the Diamondbacks were going to win. But hold on a minute. We got a little dribbler here, and he's going to beat that down the line, and that's the shift right there pretty much. And that's what Corey Seager does, the Hall of Famer. Oh, yeah. And you'll see. You'll see. Right here, Mitch Garver. That's going to be up the middle, and that will play across the first run of the day. It's going to stay like this until the 9th. We'll see. We'll see. Look at them clapping right there. Nathan Eovaldi's happy. Mitch Garver's happy. Jonah Heim right here. And that's going to be the center field. Alec Thomas, he's going to come up with this, isn't he? Nope! He's not. 2 runs are going to score, and that is just awful, awful center fielding right there. Got to get the glove down, heads up right there. And now, you know, Marcus Semien is going to the plate. What's he going to do? Paul Sewald say, what? See ya, left center field, 5-0, and that will do it pretty much. Icing on the top. And we're going to get another, you know, strikeout right here to end it looking, which is kind of crazy. How are you going to look going down to lose the World Series? Ketel Marte, goodbye, see you, good night, Texas Rangers are World Series champions.
Yeah, so big win for the Rangers. They're winning their first World Series. You know, you never fail to make me laugh. The local New York teams battled it out last week for the first time since 2019, and they really did not disappoint in entertaining us for sure. Daniel, take us through this one.
Oh, I'm so excited to take you through this one. Rainy weather here at MetLife Stadium. Zach Wilson, Giants up 3-0 with a minute left in the first. Zach Wilson drops back, a little dump off the Breeze hole, makes one man miss, makes another guy miss, and he's off to the races, and he gets through the Giants defense with no problem. He's going to get a 50-yard receiving touchdown, and he's just going to lap this one up because he knows that Giants defense is just pitiful here. Greg Gano coming in, looking for a 47-yard field goal, and hooks it to the left, and the Giants are not going to score. They're down 7-3. What is going on here? A raging Giants fan angry at this performance right now by his kicker. Here comes Tommy DeVito. When he came in for the injured Tyrod Taylor, hand off to Saquon Barkley. Nope, he's going to take it himself and score in his first NFL game. Tommy DeVito, the Jersey kid, hyped, and his teammates are hyped for him. I was hyped at the moment, but that gets ruined very quickly here. 4th down and 10. Kayvon Thibodeau coming in, gets Zach Wilson down with a minute left. The Giants just need to run out the clock, and it looks like they're very on their way of winning. But guess what? Of course, that did not happen. Old Giants fashion, the defense fails when it matters the most, and Greg the Leg ties it with, at the end of regulation, it's going to take us into overtime. The Giants will get the ball, but you know what? Brian Dable doesn't trust Tommy DeVito to pass the ball, and I kind of don't blame him, but he's going to pass it right here, and whoop, what was that? That was just a terrible pass. I don't know why you're an NFL QB at the moment. 4th and 21. The Jets will have great field positioning here, and it looks like they're on their way to winning. 1st and 10. Saleh wants to get out of there. He calls for a field goal, and it is good. The Jets walk it off in what I'll call it points Jet Life Stadium. And this game, Mark, was just the epitome of New York football over the last decade. Just terrible. And let's take a look at the punt stats because this is just hilarious. Jamie Gillen.
The Scottish Hammer, Jimmy Gillen.
And Thomas Morrison. Gillen with 13 punts, 24 punts in total. Gillen with 549 punt yards to Morrison 529. Gillen with 42.2 average yards per punt, and Morrison with 48.1 yards per punt. Jamie Gillen had a 58 long punt, and Thomas Morrison with a 55-yard punt. Mark, this game just really annoyed me, and just for that, the Giants are really making me feel some kind of way. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. They suck. They're so bad, we suck. We are terrible. This game was so bad. I don't know what's going to happen with the rest of the season, but this is just terrible.
I mean, I don't know how to respond to that, but I mean, I guess I know your answer to this next question. I mean, which team do you think is the worst in New York?
The New York Giants are the worst team. They are terrible. I was so wrong about that, and I apologize to the Cowboys fan for saying whatever goes wrong will go wrong because
Get that out of here.
whatever can go wrong has gone wrong. I had high expectations for them. Some people did, and they just have not lived up to that. It's just been really bad. Brian Dable looks like he's coaching scared, and yeah, that's all there really is to it.
Daniel Karp, we'll start it with you. What's happening over with WP Hoops?
Going on at the rack, we got the men just had their first game of the season, starting off 1-0 with the beat up down at Brooklyn College.
That's right. No sleep till Brooklyn. Men start off 1-0 as they continue their season.
And McCaffrey, yes, they came off the bye. They're going to be a little bit more healthier against the Jaguars, but Jaguars' defense and offense is pretty damn good.
I'd just like to mention that you listed off almost all of the significant offensive pieces for the 49ers, and any team without any of their pieces are going to struggle.
But he's not a quarterback that can develop
But
an
it
offense.
doesn't matter. He still does well. any team.
He does well?
You see with other teams.
He does well?
If he doesn't have the pieces, he's not going to do well. That's any football team. Take Tyreek Hill away from Tua, and no one's talking about
How
him.
did he do 2 weeks ago?
Look.
Argument for another time, gentlemen. Unfortunately, we have to talk about a team that's not off to a great start, and it's the New York Knicks. Not off to the hottest start this season, and a big reason for that is the play, if you can call it that, from power forward Julius Randle. Fritz, take us through the season that the big man's having.
Yeah, he's just off to a really horrible start right now, averaging 16.5 points per game. His rebounds are solid, 11 points, but it's good to have a lot of rebounds when you're chasing your own shots that you're chucking up, right? 31% for the field, just abysmal. 3-point percentage, he might as well just stop shooting completely. 25%. It's going to build a new MSG Stadium by the time he's done with this season. It's not looking really good this year.
All those bricks.
All of them.
Brian, first of all, I apologize for showing that loss for your 76ers on the screen, but what was the reason for the 76ers losing that one?
I sadly have to talk about Derek White. He went off. He saw that the two starters were out. Porzingis was out. Brown was out. He just stepped up. He had 27 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal. And just saying, the games before that, against the Knicks, he only had 3 points. Against the Raptors, he only had 4 points. He saw the Sixers on the board. He scored 27 points. It made me so angry.
Rico, who's winning this one?
Give me those young, fast, and hungry Indiana Pacers. You know, they're currently 2-0 in the Group A East standings. They have the number 1 offense in the league, but 28 in defense. You know, Tyrese Halliburton, he's averaging 24.7 points a game with 12.5 assists. This is like elevated Steve Nash right here. And then you got Miles Turner, who's putting up 17.9 points a game, and he's shooting 39% from 3. He looks like a better shooter than Karl Anthony Towns on those Timberwolves. And also, they got 8 players averaging double figures on this team. 8 players. They are deep. Young, deep, and hungry. Give me those Indiana Pacers.
Gage Balstrieri, moving over to you, and I feel like I know what you're going to say.
I think you do.
Yeah.
You know,
Where's it going?
Zion wants to come to the real New York team, not those, fake Brooklyn Nets. He wants to come to the Knicks and bring him over. And Mark, let's take a trip down memory lane. Back to 2019 in the summer. The New York Knicks, an awful season in 2018. And, we're ready. We're ready. We're going to get Zion. We're going to get Kyrie and KD. Instead, the NBA decides to rig the draft like we did with Patrick Ewing.
Again.
And so we don't get the first pick, not the second. We get the third pick. We lose out on Ja Morant.
Sorry.
We lose out on Zion Williamson. It's a shame. We lose out on everybody. We're upset. The haters, they're all cheering. They think it's hilarious. Now we fast forward to 2023. The Knicks are no longer in the rebuild. We're out of our rebuild. We're, officially almost in our championship window. And what better to make the Knicks true championship contenders than Zion Williamson? It's written in the stars, Mark. Bring Zion to us.
Over to you. Who do you think is getting fired?
Yeah, now taking it across the country to the West, Brandon Staley of the Chargers
I don't like that answer.
Might come as a surprise to a lot of people, but when you look at the skill that the Chargers have, Herbert, Eckler, Allen, and on defense, it's really being wasted because of the coach's inability to connect with his team. And you can see they've had a disappointing record, disappointing season so far. Can't really tell what's going to happen, but right now, if it goes downhill, then I'm not sure what's going to happen to him.
Center.
Well, I'm very thankful to be covering some WP basketball. First, we got a tale of two halves. Yeah, despite a 73-60 loss to Kane University, the Pioneers show a tale of two halves by absolutely going off in the second half, but unfortunately it wasn't enough for a win. Afterwards, we got Summer Lovin'. Yeah, that's right. Not between Sandy and Danny, but between our very own Sean Summers, who had a career game the other night, and we're going to talk about him and how great he's been. Afterwards, we got a Krabby Patty, not from SpongeBob, but Patty Walsh has been making the other team crabby for the way that she's been playing because she's been insane this year. We're going to talk about her. And afterwards, we got the Knights change. They beat the Pioneers lost to NJCU 75-56, and we're going to talk about the reinforcements they need to win against Rowan and Montclair upcoming.
Yeah. Definitely going to be having me a blast talking about some WP men's and women's basketball. But
my man, Balstrieri, I think CeeDee Lamb's the best playmaker in the NFL. Like, I saw it yesterday. I think CeeDee Lamb is the best playmaker in the NFL.
Are you
over A.J. Brown?
I think so.
Over A.J. Brown, over Justin Jefferson, over CMC?
Just ignoring Tyreek Hill?
I think so, man.
Over Tyreek Hill?
I think CeeDee Lamb's best.
Over Jerry Jeudy?
That's insane.
I really do.
That might be the worst thing you've ever said.
Well, more to your power. But
dude, you're forgetting that Justin Jefferson is the best wide receiver in the league.
Hey, he's been out for a couple weeks.
Okay,
I really think currently CeeDee Lamb.
Oh, I guess we're gonna say Marvin Harrison's gonna be the best receiver next year then.
I mean,
Yeah,
that could happen.
But that is the worst take on this desk I've heard.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah,
But there you go.
Awful.
There you go.
I just want to start with you, Fritz. You are a Jets fan. Do you think the Jets are rushing him back?
I think that they are. Can I just look right here? Listen, I don't know what is going on with the Jets, but it's paining me, okay? It's painful being a fan. It's painful going to that god-awful stadium. The turf sucks. Everything about that place is just bad, okay? Bringing him back is not going to do anything. The offensive line sucks. We have a head coach that's good on defense, but he can't play. He can't do a single play, right? He sucks at calling offense. We have Garrett Wilson out there just crying every game because he can't get open. They don't scheme him open, okay? We have Tim Boyle, okay, that's done nothing his entire career in football. We brought him in and think that's a change. We benched Zach Wilson thinking that's going to help. Nobody we put back there is going to do good. We could put prime Joe Montana back there, and he's still going to look terrible because it's the Jets, and the Jets are going to jet. We're never going to get better. We're never going to – this is just bad.
Just end the season.
We should. Yeah. We should.
It's okay, Fitz.
I am going to cry.
It's okay.
This is bad. This is bad. But Rutgers football can beat us right now. It's bad.
So bad. Andy, closing us out for this one.
All right, give me 15
Oh,
seconds
again?
between all you guys jump down my throat. He is not being rushed back at all. He's fine. Listen, it's Aaron Rodgers. All right, can you guys relax, all right? No. We've seen him on Pat McAfee, what he talks about. He believes in the science. He believes in what's going to happen, all right? And I believe it. Listen.
You'd rather risk him getting hurt?
A month ago, he was throwing a football.
We cannot block anybody.
Dude, he'll be fine. He will be fine.
JJ can suit up on Sunday and get a sack on us.
No.
Right now.
No, listen.
He might not be
Aaron
wrong about
Rodgers
that.
can do this. Aaron Rodgers will be fine. And you know what, Fritz? I think this is the fandom in you. You just got to step back, look from outside perspective. You know what?
I have been in pain for 10 years.
Aaron Rodgers is the answer.
Do you realize
He's
the
the
best,
answer. He got injured.
The best quarterback
Listen.
I've seen for my team is Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Listen, you get him for
understand.
week 17, week 18. It'll be a preview, a little tease for next year. You'll be fine. I mean, has their defense been good?
No, I know that we're garbage. I understand that.
Their defense. Who would you even say your best defender is right now?
I don't know. We're all just sad and we're working through it.
Luke Hughes. Luke Hughes hasn't been good.
Oh my. Well, that's for a later question.
Luke Hughes is supposed to be really good, and he hasn't done anything.
That's for a later question. Don't worry about it. It's okay.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
thought he was supposed to be big.
Well, he seems.
And the one thing about the Devils, their defense, they've been really. Last year, they were aggressive. They played along the boards. They had a really good forecheck. That forecheck is completely gone. This defense they cannot contain the puck in their own offensive zone.
Andrew Balicheri, take us through this one.
We got some awesome highlights from this one. It was a fun game. Giannis getting ready in Vegas, but here we will see Miles Turner getting inside and yamming that thing all over Giannis. He had a hell of a game, did Miles Turner, kicking it over later in the first quarter. We see a tough little lefty layup from Tyrese Halliburton right over Brook Lopez. Keeping it going here, we see Campaign bringing this one in. It's Giannis. You ain't guarding that, Naismith. Not a chance that he was doing anything right there. Here we see Giannis again. He was looking unbelievable last night. Look at the speed. Miles Turner didn't have a chance in that one. 63-51 here. Now we see Dame Time activated to make a little comeback right here. Dishing it over is for the extra pass for Middleton to get him open. And here we see another one right off the screen. Easy. It's too easy for Dame for them to take the lead there in the third. But here we go. Later in the third quarter, we see Giannis making it look like a dunk contest out here, making it 90-86. Now we see a good board by Turner and Tyrese Halliburton pushing it up. He's going to throw it up for an oop to Obi Toppin. Knicks legend Obi Toppin. I miss you so much, man. Here we see later in the fourth, Giannis, a tough baseline drive, but he gets that one to go over Naismith again. Naismith, he was struggling a little bit against him, but here a nice move right here and an insane layup. I don't even know how he made that happen. But now we see 50 seconds left. They're down 5. Here's Halliburton for the dagger. Bang, bang. Got that to go. Ka-chow, as we like to say. The bench was going crazy. Pacers take this one 128-119. Move on to the championship.
Yeah, I mean, what a game from the Indiana Pacers there. I believe it was you, Rico, who predicted them to win the whole thing.
Come on.
I mean,
2-3 weeks ago, I was calling for the Indiana Pacers. They've been on a roll.
Rico, take us through that one.
Let's take a look into the Lakers-Pelicans matchup. Zion Williamson of the New Orleans Pelicans going against LeBron James of the Los Angeles Lakers. And LeBron, he was cooking early. Here we go, bully ball over Herb Jones, and one for LeBron James to start off this game. And then again, here comes the Lakers, but oh, a turnover. CJ McCollum going up, alley-oop to Herb Jones. Pelicans, they were actually starting off hungry in this game. Herb Jones, another three, no. But Zion Williamson, the athletic putback layup. 15 tied here. LeBron for three, splash. LeBron, he started cooking. He had 4 threes in this game. LeBron from the logo, what are you doing? Oh, he makes it anyways. LeBron James, Christian Wood, he's out of his mind. Here comes LeBron again. Another three. Bang. LeBron James, he's just insane in this game. He's saying it's too easy for him. LeBron, he's going to get the pick from AD. Over here, up top, AD. Little layup over Brandon Ingram. And then Austin Reeves, he's going to find Anthony Davis over the top of Trey Murphy III. And then the Lakers, they just kept cooking in this game, taking a 133-89 victory to advance to the championship game.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of got out of hand there very quick for the Pelicans. But Rico, how were the Lakers able to pull off a win in this one?
LeBron, he just said he wanted to affect his legacy. How does this affect LeBron's legacy? Well, he's going to possibly get a championship.
Over to you, JJ. How were the Lakers able to win this one?
Well, we're not going to talk about the Lakers. We're going to talk about the Pelicans because they just gave up, honestly. I guess they was just, just gambling too much in Las Vegas, just partying. I mean, they got outscored 43-17 in the third quarter. And then Zion's just sitting there on the bench, just chilling, talking. We're probably going to go more gamble more. He probably gambled more last night. So, realistically, that's just how they lost. And the Lakers are in the championship now.
I mean, it's embarrassing for the Pelicans. All they did was, after the second half, they just started waving the white flag for them, Come on. Like, what are they doing? They're in Vegas, the biggest stage.
Exactly, they're in Vegas.
What is this? Why are they waving the white flag?
They should have took me gambling.
Okay.
A blowout for this? This is embarrassing. It's more embarrassing than the Suns' Game 7.
Trent, moving on to you. Who do you think deserves the Heisman?
So I've been singing this guy's praises for a long time, but for me, I definitely got to say Michael Penix Jr., quarterback out of Washington. He's just a fantastic player all around. This is his second season throwing for over 4,000 yards. For passing touchdowns, he's got 33. Interceptions, only 9. And a QB rating of 83.4. Now, the difference is between all these other guys we're talking about on the desk, Michael Penix is undefeated still at this very day. And not to mention, he's the only one here in the playoffs either. He's the only one there. So really,
That means nothing.
Yeah,
what doesn't
it doesn't really have a lot to do.
Wins are a team stat, not a quarterback stat.
Yeah, I mean,
regardless, someone's got to throw those receivers the ball, and Penix has the cannon to get it there. All I'm saying is the Heisman's going to have real big Penix energy this year.
Moving on to you, Andy Gavin. Who do you think deserves the Heisman?
This pains me to say it. Bo Nix.
Oh my God!
No,
really?
I hate Bo Nix with a burning passion. You know this. I hope he goes undrafted. I hope Bo Nix never touches an NFL field, but give him the Heisman.
The Giants are going to take him.
Death stare.
Don't. He has 4,145 passing yards, 40 touchdowns, an insane amount, 3 interceptions, and a 91 QBR rating. He has been lights out, and if we're going off what Trent said, apparently he's not a good quarterback because he didn't lead his team to the college finals, to the Final Four, or playoffs, whatever you want to say. But I mean, Bo Nix has been exceptional. I mean, we saw his talents when he was remember, he's older, but he was a true rookie in Auburn, and we saw his talent there in the past 2 years. He's really played well in, Oregon, and Auburn did him wrong. I'll admit it. Auburn treated him well.
Thank you. You're finally admitting it.
Auburn did not treat him well, and Oregon opened up their arms to Bo Nix, and Bo Nix has been really good.
For my guy, I'm going to go with a quarterback just broke out on the scene, Noah Fifita, right, from Arizona. We take a look at his stats. He's got 2,643 passing yards, along with 24 passing touchdowns, a completion percentage of 72 on the nose, and only 5 interceptions, and that's career stats. Obviously, he's only in his second year, right? But to really understand the magnitude of how good he is, we have to take a trip back in time, right? Arizona hasn't had a winning record in 6 years. They were 7-6 in 2017. This season with Noah Fifita at the helm, they went 9-3, coming third in the Pac-12, above schools like USC, Utah, and Oregon State. 3 powerhouses in that conference, right? Last 2 games of the season versus
Not a conference.
Well, yes, the former conference of the Pac-12, but last 2 games of the season versus Utah and Arizona State combined for 780 yards along with 7 touchdowns. He's playing in the Alamo Bowl versus Oklahoma. I'm excited to watch him blossom into even better of a player than he already is.
Moving on, Bajan, who's your unsung hero?
Well, I gotta go with someone super underrated. I didn't know him until you put me on for this block. Is Torrey Horton, senior wide receiver out of Colorado State. If we look at his stats on the screen for his career, 239 receptions, 3,262 yards, 26 touchdowns, and his average yard per catch is 13.6. Not as good as Marvin Harrison, still really good. And the past 2 seasons in particular, he's had 71 and 96 catches, 1,131 and 1,136 yards, and 8 touchdowns in both seasons. He's just simply producing, but no one cares, because who's watching Colorado State? I mean, I wasn't, but you know.
Well, I mean, that game against Colorado, that was incredible.
That's when I saw him.
Overtime, triple overtime?
Triple overtime.
Triple overtime in that
And I
game.
saw him, I'm like, that guy's a baller.
He was
right there.
incredible. I mean, he kind of made Travis Hunter look silly out there.
It's also
All right, moving over to you. Who's your biggest name in the transfer portal?
I mean, I got to go for Riley Leonard. He's a smart kid with a good head on his shoulders and overall just fantastic dual threat QB. See a lot of teams out there need it with 4,450 passing yards, 24 passing touchdowns, completion percentage of 62%, and 10 interceptions. That's a pretty good stat line. That's some of the stuff we see with some of our Heisman guys. And just overall, he's a great all-around quarterback, and for the love of God, I want to see him on Notre Dame,
Well,
man.
of course
I
you
really do.
You know, to wrap up the show, it's been the talk of the town. The College Football Playoff Committee made a bold and frankly controversial decision for the four-team tournament by placing both Texas and Alabama, who are both 12-1, over the undefeated Florida State Seminoles. Andy Gavin, starting with you, do you think that decision was justified?
Camera 3, I'm going to get on my soapbox right here.
Whoa. Oh,
yeah, I'm going to my soapbox.
Whoa, okay.
In 2017, UCF went 12-0.
They did good, yes?
They beat 4 ranked teams. They did not have any injuries to their quarterbacks. They were placed 6th. They played in the Peach Bowl against LSU, which was ranked 9th. They beat LSU by 21 in the Peach Bowl. They made themselves national championships. They became national championships. Now, you're going to have him over there fighting this, and there's no iron team. There's no iron team because of their quarterback getting hurt. They're not going to put a team
If there's
in
no
there.
iron
They're
team,
not gonna put
if
a
you're using
team
that
in
analogy,
there.
wouldn't it make more sense to put Florida State in the playoffs?
No. I'm going to say, let me finish. We're going to give him the time. You give me the time.
I'm giving you the time. It
There's
doesn't
no
make
iron
sense.
team. We're teaching what the CFB committee is teaching, or the NCAA committee is teaching them, is that when you lose your star player, give up, you lost all hope.
Whoa.
Right? That's
Why
what
would-
they're saying.
but-
That is what they're ensuing, right?
Do you agree with
Yes.
that? Why?
Because you're not going to
You literally just said there's no iron. You just said there's no iron
no
team.
iron team.
You
When a guy
you
loses
somehow
one
use that
player,
trying to
it's over.
trying to use
Yeah,
that
that's
for
what I
your.
did. Didn't work.
Not at all.
Do you see where I'm going with it, though?
Listen, I see what you're saying about the NCAA saying that, but
Yes.
I don't understand why
They're-
you would agree with that.
I'm agreeing with it because, listen, come on. You think you have Tom Brady, they're going to win any of those 5 Super Bowls?
Probably not, but I
Exactly.
don't know. You don't know unless you would see it. That's the thing.
Oh, my God.
Well, I'm just saying.
No,
You
know,
think-
no one's ever won anything with a backup quarterback? It's not like there's a whole statue
Eagles, Nick
in front of
Foles.
Philly Stadium because they won a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback. But you know,
All right,
you
Nick
can
Foles
never
is
win
still
in
a
anything
starter
with
in
a
the
backup.
league for a decent amount of time.
It doesn't matter.
It does
he was
matter.
Still a backup.
It does matter. The
Everyone said
competition
Philly
difference
was
is
done that
different.
year because it was Carson Wentz.
You take a
Now,
true
all of a sudden
freshman
you're saying
quarterback in the
it
Final
doesn't
Four. He's
matter.
not
There's
going
still
to
an
do
entire
good.
team
Says who?
around him.
Says
21
who?
guys
Come
on
on.
the field.
Come
It
on.
does not matter
defense-
if you lose just the
All right,
quarterback. There's
put
still an
them-
entire
you
team
put them
around
fourth.
him.
You put them fourth. What defense are they playing?
At fourth, what defense are they
Who are
playing?
they playing? The 1 seed. Who's the 1 seed?
Michigan.
How good is that defense? That could be the best defense.
It's pretty
in-
good, but they can
It's
still
the best
compete with them.
defense.
They still have a great run
It's
game.
the
They
best.
still have good receivers. Keon Coleman, Johnny Wilson.
For a quarterback,
You
that's nothing.
have
They barely
good
threw
receivers,
the
but
other
it
day when he was
doesn't
in.
matter.
They
Okay, so
barely
let's just run the
threw.
ball down their throat.
That's what Michigan runs.
And what if they do
Michigan-
well and they did
Stop
fine doing
that.
it against Louisville? They still won that game doing it.
You think about the NCAA.
You're acting as
They
if
have-
it doesn't matter.
They need views. They have paid.
There is a
This is a
quarterback is not the
conversation.
only
Conversation's
piece on
going
a
one way.
team.
Let me talk real quick, all right? I want to
Okay,
pull
let
that
you
out. Let me
talk.
talk.
Okay, so you can be
They-
wrong again. Don't worry.
They have ads to pay. They need people watching that game. You're going to have Michigan, Florida State. No one's watching that game. They're going to lose
No
revenue.
one's watching that game. Florida State has no history. Florida State has no history, guys. No
What-
one's going to watch that game.
What have they had since Jameis Winston? We're gonna go back from Jameis Winston to prime
That was
time.
too long ago. That wasn't even a decade
Can we talk
ago.
relevancy?
That was it.
Relevancy
That was a whole
right
century
now.
ago, guys.
Right now.
Right now.
What do
I don't
they
know.
have? What
Jordan
ad-
Travis, the guy who got snuffed from the Heisman. Jordan Travis
If
should
we're gonna
have
talk
been a
snuff, talk
Heisman
Drake May getting
candidate.
snuffed.
Jordan Travis is a great quarterback. And yeah, it sucks that they lost him. But again, there's an entire team around him.
You're not gonna put a third-string quarterback with a team in the final
So you put the
spot.
second string in. What do you mean third string?
He has a concussion. He's out.
That's a good point.
Exactly.
He's got me there on that one. But it doesn't matter. There's still a backup quarterback can win. We've
It's
seen
a
it in football.
backup quarterback.
You say any given Sunday for a reason.
It's any given Saturday
All right, all
basketball.
right, all right, all right.
He's got me there too.
Sean, very quickly, very quickly, what are your thoughts on this?
Oh God.
Okay. Like quickly.
Quickly, I understand both sides. I'm gonna play mediator. You know,
There you go.
Mr. Calm, cool, collected. I understand both sides. One, Florida State with their first-string quarterback. Are they gonna move the ball against Michigan?
Probably not.
But
Thank you.
you don't know. What's the saying? You miss 100% of the shots, don't take. Why not put Florida State in? Let's see what the quarterback got.
Exactly.
So I understand both sides.
It'll be a blowout, though. No
So
one's gonna
what?
watch this. They have.
But you never know.
No,
You never know.
Not doing this again. Not doing this again. Not doing this
Can I
again.
say one thing real quick?
Very quick.
Real quick.
Committee
You be quiet.
Committee favors the SEC.
Of course.
We know that. It's not what they can happen. You know this.
Yeah,
We
What's
been
gonna
knew
happen?
this.
Okay, so they're biased. Is that a good thing?
No.
It
All right.
sells.
All right.
Everyone has
All
some
right.
bias.
We gotta wrap this up. We gotta wrap this up. I'm just gonna give my
Gets
thoughts.
ratings.
Look, just expand the playoffs.
Next
That's
year.
all. That's all. That's
Next
all
year.
I got
That's
for
why
you.
they should have.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. I think from all of us here.
Absolutely. Very excited.
I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need.
There's one thing I need, and that's to start off this episode with a trip over to the Rec Center with WP Basketball's crew up next on WP Sports Desk.
I forgot the lyrics.
I said last week he's kind of lost a little bit, but he's really seemed to find it back. We saw against Montclair, him and Mike Jackson from Montclair were trading threes back and forth. It was really nice to see them. It was really nice to see Tyreek get back in that groove.
Andre Wells, I mean, Stockton, he had 19 points.
Yeah, the well was not dry there.
No. No way, you just stole. That's what I said during the call.
Ali, take us through this win.
And we're going to take a look at the highlights from this one. It was a fun one. Started off with Tyreek Montgomery hitting a tough bucket from the mid-range. Then we see Sean Summers, a little step back mid. He gets that one to go. Tough one right there. Now we see Sean Summers doing it all, getting the rebound, going up and under for a tough little lay right there. Here we see Pat Monahan. You know, Clark just talked about him. Look at that little shifty layup, the finger roll right there. And Dave Martinez from downtown. Ka-chow. Kid's killing it right now. Cesar Silvestro, glad to see him back. A nice little pull-up from the mid-range. Here we are in the second half. We see Neftali Valentin for three. Told you he was shooting 50%. That kid is cash this year. And not as cash as this guy, MJ Moncrief, splashing one from the corner. Later on in the game, Uche Unegbu. Ooh! Ooh! I know Gavin can't do that one, but Uche can do that all day. Here's Andre Wells throwing that one up, and we didn't see it. It was a beautiful oop to MJ Moncrief there.
Rutgers Newark did that on MJ Moncrief. I mean, that was almost amazing, but they did it right back, and MJ finished
Awesome.
that one.
Anyway, score of this one, 65-52. Pioneers improved to 3-7. Rutgers falls to 5-6. Pioneers shoot 40% from the field. Rutgers Newark just 37.5. And here is the big story: 92-53 free throw percentage. Pioneers have 16 turnovers. Rutgers has 19. Pioneers next meet Rutgers Newark on February 7th at Rutgers Newark.
Yeah, and you know, I just kind of noticed you're not very festive today.
Yes, I am. I'm always festive, Mark. I'm the holiday ham. So
Yeah, what just give
for
me
my
the matchup.
Super Bowl pick, I honestly have to say the Kansas City Chiefs
Oh.
versus the Detroit Lions. Well, guess what, Mark? Kansas City has been in worse situations than they've been in now and still made it to the big game.
I know.
They're a
It's
team
painful.
who fights and works for it. And then on top of that, Detroit is a team that's hungry and they're looking to finally win. Sure, they're having ups and downs right now, mostly downs, but they're still fighting for it. And I really think that these are two teams that can't just be ignored when talking about this topic. You know, enough of the Baltimore, enough of the Miami, Dallas, whoever. Give me Kansas City and Detroit. We'll end the season with the game that started the season.
get right into it. Does this make the Yankees a playoff team?
Let's take a look here at Juan Soto's stats last year. He had a 275 batting average, home runs. He had 35 home runs, RBIs. He had 109 in his OPS, a staggering 930. That is really good, above league average. I think he's going to be a difference maker that the Yankees need. A left-hand bat in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, and it's not even that. You look at the OPS. That's just kind of what they need, a guy who's going to get on base. But yeah, no, just want to stick with you, Andy. Do you think this makes them a playoff team?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I don't think it does. I mean, we lose Sean Casey, where you got the Detroit Tigers hitting coach. They had a team average below 220, and it just doesn't move the needle for me. Like, I love Juan Soto. I love that they got the outfield they needed. They got Verdugo. Their outfield's pretty much set. Yeah. But they don't have starting pitching right now. Do we get Yamamoto? Maybe that moves the needle a little bit more. But hitting is going to be an issue again, and pitching is going to be an issue again.
Okay.
Bring this back. Now can I talk?
I completely agree.
Thank you. Dayton fell off a cliff 2 years ago.
False.
What did he do last year?
He had like 35 homers that year,
He
bro.
was great in 2021.
You're delusional.
That was 3 years ago, dog. That's 3 years ago now.
Wrong.
Fans of bum, dude.
Wrong.
Dude, 2022 he was bad. 2023 he was bad.
2023, so
He was
it's
bad
the
last
last
year.
two.
Dude,
He can't even do math. Now we're having a math test on the desk.
22 and 23 are 2 seasons. 21 was 3 seasons ago. You can't do math.
Wrong.
Look.
I'm not wrong.
Look, who's a player that you think is going to be a big splash, and what team do you think he's going to go to?
Yeah, before this gets out of hand, give me Matt Chapman sticking with the Toronto Blue Jays. He had a pretty solid season last year as we take out the stats. In 140 games, he batted .240 in that one, had 17 home runs and an OPS of 755. And listen, the Jays are aggressively trying to get him to re-sign. He's a 3-time Gold Glove winner. He's still one of the best defensive third basemen in the MLB. He had 12 defensive runs saved last season and 27 homers in 2021 and 2022. So I think it's a solid, solid matchup for them. I think the Blue Jays should re-sign Matt Chapman.
Yeah, it really would be a really good re-signing for them, having a really good season. Tyler Cooper, moving on to you. Who's left? What team do you think he's going to?
Yeah, I got to go with Josh Hader. He had a pretty sparkling season last year. Let's take a look at his numbers from a year ago. He had innings pitched. It was 56.1, saves 33, ERA was 1.8, which is really sparkling. Strikeouts 85, and I think he's going to the Philadelphia Phillies for the sole reason. I know you guys are gonna whip on me, Philadelphia fans.
Go Phils, man.
Go Phils, man. But in all seriousness, the Phillies bullpen is already lights out. But if you add Hader to be the primary closer, that is going to make them extremely good, and I think that's where he's going. Go Phils, man.
I agree, actually. That's a good pick.
It is a good
Yeah,
pick.
it's a good
I
pick.
mean, that's what they need, and he's a great player, as we saw.
Because hold on.
They
had Kimball, but he looked pretty good. But Hader, that's why I went with Hader there.
Yeah, I mean, he really could boost them big time, potentially get them to actually win the World Series this time around. But Daniel Karp, moving over to you. Who's left? Who are they going to?
I'm going to talk about Trevor Bauer, who played for the NPB, the Bay Stars last year. And when he was in the major leagues, from 2018 to 21, when he really started to break out, 3.07 ERA in those 3 years, 3.79 in his career. We're going to look at the stats. 156.2 innings pitched in the NPB with the Bay Stars, a 2.59 ERA, 160 strikeouts with a whip of 1.13. He started off terrible with the NPB last year.
I remember that. He got relegated down to... What? Okay.
No, he didn't get sent down. That's what a lot of people thought. He didn't get sent down. They do their rosters differently, so when they're away, pitchers don't travel unless you have a date to start. So they sent him down to get a start because they had like a 2-week road trip.
Okay.
So they sent him down to get innings in. It wasn't. The media made it so much bigger thing.
They definitely.
Yeah.
Thanks for
But
clearing that up.
Alec Manoah.
Baseball
His
lessons with
name
Andy.
got really tainted for a while. I don't know why. Got really tainted. So.
I wonder why.
All right,
So
well, let's give it back to Dan.
Anyway, I think that Trevor Bauer, I don't think a major league team is going to sign him, but I do think that they should look into him because I still believe that Trevor Bauer still has that upside where he could be a dominant starting pitcher. I mean, he won the Mickey Mouse Cy Young in 2020. With the Dodgers in 21, he was really good, and he's still a great pitcher. He has that devastating curveball, voted better than Yoshinobu Yamamoto in the NPB last year. I think MLB teams should be looking to get Trevor Bauer.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Any team that needs a boost in starting pitchers, maybe the Yankees, could look to get him. But Andy, I mean, you mentioned Yankees needing starting pitching.
And
just before,
we're going to go to Yoshi Yamamoto as we take a look at his numbers here in the NPB. I mean, he has been lights out.
Yeah, great
He had
numbers for
171
Yoshinobu
innings
Yamamoto
pitched.
here.
He had a 1.16 ERA, 176 strikeouts, and his whip below 1.
Below
That-
.9.
That's crazy.
But I'm just saying, in general, below .1 is just absolutely
Oh, well,
insane.
yeah.
He has won the Cy Young and MVP 3 years in a row. He has been absolutely insane, and that would absolutely help the Yankees.
Yeah, I mean, they've been a name along with the Dodgers, who just got Shohei Ohtani. That's something that, we want to see as Yankees fans. Would love to see Yamamoto go there. But, Bally, bringing it back to you, your second guy, who you got?
Give me J.D. Martinez going to the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Back home.
Going back home to where he rightfully belongs. Taking a look at the stats. At 113 games with the Dodgers last season, batted .271 with 33 homers and an OPS of .893. And, I think the main reason I'm going to say he doesn't re-sign with the Dodgers is because of them bringing in Shohei. And I think, obviously we're going to see Shohei in that DH spot all season. So that just, leaves JD out of the mix there. And he's still one of the best DHs in the league at, 35 now, I think?
Yeah.
I mean, he is old. And, 33 homers and 103 ribbies and a 134 OPS plus. Phenomenal numbers out of him. I think he makes the Diamondbacks a better team. He has a great veteran presence to that team, and I definitely think that's where he's going to go.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a nice homecoming for J.D. Martinez there. But, Tyler Cooper, we'll go back over to you. Who's next on your list?
Blake Snell, another southpaw. He had a phenomenal season. Let's take a look at his numbers. Cy Young. He had 180 innings pitched last year, an ERA of 2.5, strikeouts 234, a whip of 1.8. He is going to the San Francisco Giants because he had career, he had career numbers there. He looks good in Oracle Park. He has, over his career there, he pitched 6 scoreless innings with 26 strikeouts. And I think he'll make a nice combination with Logan Webb up top of the rotation with a nice 1-2 punch there. So it looks good in San Francisco for Blake Snell.
Yeah, that would be, coming off of an NL Cy Young win for Blake Snell, that would just be great to see him and Logan Webb, who I believe was also a contender for the NL Cy Young.
Yep.
So, yeah, putting 2 guys who contend for that yearly in there, that's dangerous if you're the Giants. And you just got Jung Hoo Lee.
Mm-hmm.
So some big moves potentially could be made by the Giants. But, Carp, we'll swing it back over to you. Who's next on yours?
I want to talk about Cody Bellinger, and I believe he's going to go to the Toronto Blue Jays. Comeback Player of the Year, has an MVP under his belt, Rookie of the Year under his belt. I want to look at his numbers with the Cubs last year. Had a breakout season once again, 130 games played, batted over 300 with 307, 26 home runs, and an OPS of 881. He was really good last year, and the Dodgers decided to let him go. He goes with the Cubs, banks on himself, signs the minimum deal, whatever it is in the MLB, $18 million, I think it is, and he really had a great season. But a lot of teams are worried about with gambling with him because from 2020 to 2022, he only batted .203, 41 home runs, and a below 700 OPS, which is not good. And I understand why teams like the Yankees are iffy about trying to get him. They got Soto. I don't think they're going to get him now, but I think with the Blue Jays, it kind of seems like the San Francisco Giants from last year. Everybody who you thought they were trying to get, they didn't get it. They got Jung Hoo Lee now, and I feel like the same thing is happening with the Blue Jays with Ohtani and Juan Soto. So I just think it makes too much sense for Cody Bellinger to be a Toronto Blue Jay. With the renovations in Rogers Center, a very short porch there in right field now, I think he's going to be really good there.
Yeah, as a Yankees fan, I'd much rather have Juan Soto on the team.
The Blue Jays are also a very right-handed heavy lineup.
So yeah, you add that in there.
With Biggio and Varsho, who weren't really good last year.
Yeah, and another thing is the injury history. We know how prevalent it was. Luckily enough, didn't get hurt last year, but
also played first base.
Yeah, but it is a problem in the career of Bellinger so far. But Andy, closing it out with you, who's your last guy for this free agent frenzy we've got going on?
I'm going to say Rhys Hoskins. He had a great.
That's your big closer. What was that? That's your big closer? Rhys
That's
Hoskins?
my big closer. If you take a look here at his numbers from last year, well, not last year because he tore his ACL in spring training. So we're going to look at 2022 numbers: 156 games, a 246 batting average. He had 30 home runs, and his OPS was 794. That was a breakout year for him. And he can play first base, left field. He can go any corner, outfield, but he's most likely going to stay at first base. Don't know how good that knee could be coming back. But, he has been really good, and the Cubs need a first baseman. They need a bat like him in Wrigley. It just makes too much sense.
Don't forget to follow us at SportsSWP for updates and more. Thank you to all the cast and crew, and a big shout out to our studio manager, Al Clark. From Studio B in Hamilton Hall, and for everyone at the desk, happy holidays. I'm Mark Brandt. Join us next time here on WPTV.